C.2, insert multiple tuples. Here, what do we want to do? We want to use one insert statement to insert multiple tuples. The reason is simple. We want to improve the performance. We want to make the whole insertion operation a little faster. Yeah. So let me explain the method. Yeah. But this method are related to our next project. Yeah. So later, if I have a little more time, I will talk about our project a little bit. Yeah. Second project. Yeah. All right. Insert multiple tuples in a single command. Okay. All right. First, it is also possible to insert into a relation multiple tuples, multiple rows, separated by comma. Okay? Yeah. So you can write a sequence of rows, yeah, but between two adjacent rows, you use a comma to separate them. Yeah. But the whole long insert statement, that's one command, one insert command. Yeah. All right. The attribute values forming each tuple are enclosed in parentheses. You only need to write once. Yeah. Yeah. So all the rows, you use the same format to insert. So the format, you only write once. Yeah. All right. So look at this example. Simple example. Okay. Yeah. Insert into table name department. Then a list of attributes. Okay? So you only write it once. After that, values. After values, you have a list of rows you want to insert at the same time, in one command. Yeah, let's say in one command. Yeah. Separated by comma. Okay? Row 1, row 2, row 3, and so on. Okay? All right. Yeah. This way, yeah, it will be a little more efficient. Yeah. Why? The reason is simple. Because we reduce the overhead. We compress the overhead. Yeah, here, let me talk about this overhead concept a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So from the DBMS side, when we do one command, we need to do a lot of preparation, right? Yeah. So here, the main idea, it is a little more efficient. Yeah. So this way, more efficient is reduce. Let me use, oh, I couldn't see that. Because if I do here, I may disable. Oh, sorry, I forgot to set co-host. I need to set that side co-host. Yeah, because if I select it here, then my remote control disabled. Oh, still works. Okay, yeah, this time it's good. Yeah, sometimes it's disabled. Yeah. All right, so the full screen here. Oh. Yeah, full screen here. All right. Yeah. So the reason is this way, reduce the overhead. Let me explain this overhead concept a little bit here. Okay. Yeah. Inside DBMS, here, let us consider the environment inside DBMS. Okay. Then, in order to prepare for this insert command, yeah, it needs to compile, right? Compile that whole command. So that inside the main memory, it needs to prepare the resource to execute the command. Yeah. Some resource in memory needs to be used to execute the command. Okay, all right. so covering the preparation part, that's the overhead. Overhead, usually we mean for preparation. Because when you need to run a command, you need to prepare the resource, setup, here and there. We do not need to know the details. You just know, some setting up preparation step needed inside DBMS. Yeah. All right. Think about if we execute single command one by one. Yeah. Here, this multiple row insertion. So here, let's compare. Multiple row insertion versus single row insertion. Sorry, not insertion, not inversion. All right. Insertion. Okay? Yeah, insertion. Yeah. Insertion here. Single row insertion. One by one. Okay? One after another. Because single row, you need to do next row, right? One by one. These two ways. Yeah. Single row insertion, every time you need to pay that amount of resource part, overhead part. Every time, every command, you need to pay that overhead part. Okay? So multiple times, you need to do that overhead multiple times. Multiple times. All right. Here, this multiple row insertion, you only need to do the overhead part once. Once. Yeah. Then that, the resource you pay for the overhead once can be used to cover all the rows. How about that? That way, you use less resource, less memory resource. Yeah. So, when you look at the overhead part, then you greatly reduce the memory resource consumption for the multiple row insertion. That's the main reason it can save some time. Okay? All right. Yeah. Then, this idea is closely related to the batch insertion. I will talk about another batch insertion, because later I have a few slides to talk about the batch insertion. So, yeah. So I do not talk about here. Yeah. The batch insertion method, that one I plan to let you practice in your second programming project. Batch insertion. Yeah. So, yeah. When we get there, I talk about our project idea a little bit. Here, you just know if we can put a multiple rows together inside one insert statement, we can save some resource, memory resource. Yeah. All right. So here, the way to do it is as simple as this example. Yeah. All right. Improve power by reducing overhead. Yeah, I already talked about that. Yeah. One statement, not multiple statements. Yeah. Because you see only one command, right? At the end, the semicolon at the end, only one command. Yeah. All right. Then, this slide, batch insertions in application programs. Yeah. Yeah. In real-world applications, this feature is useful. Yeah. So here, let me talk about that. The real-world situation. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So here, I talk about in Java and PHP. Yeah. So they do this step in two different ways. Yeah. First, the main idea is the same, yeah, but the execution is slightly different. Yeah. Yeah. In Java, JDBC has the batch support. Yeah. So there are some special Java methods, classes, methods you can use to help you organize your data in batch. Okay? Yeah. Later I will show you that Java example. Yeah. But PHP, there is no batch support, but we need to write our code to do it in the batch way. Yeah. The batch support is, the format, the preparation, so you can use the language support. If you do not have the language support, you just write the format explicitly. You can still do it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So here, let's look at batch support. Yeah. In Java here, when we do some JDBC so here, I assume you know JDBC a little bit. Yeah. So here, for this class, I talk about a little bit, but I cannot expand it, the JDBC. Yeah. So here, you need to connect to the database. Yeah. Here, look at the database connection part. The connection object, so here, this method, we need to write our connection method. Okay? Yeah. The standard is pretty much standard. We just copy the connection code in that method. Yeah. All right. So then here, this is our main insertion statement. Here you can see 3 question marks. 3 question marks. That's 3 unknown parameters. Yeah. Because at the coding time, so when we write the code at the coding time, the values of these 3 parameters are unknown. So we cannot tell DBMS what are the values. So we need to put a question mark. Yeah. Only at the runtime, the users fill in the data, then you can get the values for these question marks. Yeah. All right. So then we need a special class called a prepared statement, PS, to generate that special object to execute this insertion command. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so this special class, it just support these unknown parameters. All right, yeah. So then, let's do the batch preparation. So now, in your mind, so you want to do the batch insertion coding. First, you need to define the batch size. How large is your batch, right? Too big, too small, yeah, I will explain that. Yeah. What is the appropriate size? Here, our batch size, approximately, 1,000. Usually, the number around 1,000 is optimal. Yeah, around 1,000. If it's too big, too small, you have problem. You have different problems. So around 1,000, each batch, 1,000. So that's the, close to optimal. Yeah. All right. Then you need to use a for loop to prepare your batch, right? For loop. So you need a counter variable for your for loop. Yeah. Yeah. You need to go through all the rows in a table. Yeah. Yeah. Large number of rows. But each time you only insert 1 batch. That means 1,000 rows into the table. Yeah. For 1 command. Yeah. All right. This for loop, so you do the insertion. Okay. All right. So your employee. Yeah. So then the data. So each piece of data. So the name, city, phone. Yeah. Then after you get it. Information for 1 employee, add a batch, ps.add batch method. So that's the batch support we are using here. Yeah. What's the batch support? Here we use the Java batch support. This prepare statement object has the add batch method. So you add this row into that batch. Okay? Yeah. Into that batch. Yeah. All right. Hold, do not do the insertion. Only when you have the full batch, then you do the insertion at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. So you run your for loop, okay? Yeah. Go through all the rows sequentially, but you want to stop when the batch size, the batch capacity is full. Okay? Yeah. So here, when the count number mod batch size equals 0, so when you get the whole batch full, all right, then go. Yeah. So then insert, yeah. Execute the batch, ps.execute batch. So run the execution to insert all these 1,000 rows in one command to reduce the overhead. Okay? Overhead, you do not need to do 1,000 times overhead, right? Yeah, so for 1,000 rows, you only need to pay the amount of resource for one overhead. Okay? That overhead can be reused to cover 1,000 rows. How about that idea? Okay, you save a lot. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's the Java support. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Yeah. So then I answer you another question. The question I mentioned before. Why this 1,000 size, close to optimal? So not too big, not too small. Yeah. If too big, actually it's not good, because if it is too, here I complete the remaining, lines. Yeah. So if you make your batch too big, we know in order to execute insertion in batch way, there is an internal buffer is used. There is some internal buffer internal buffer. Okay? Buffer. And there is a size limit, right? Yeah. Internal buffer, there is a specific size limit. Okay? If your batch size is too big, then this buffer cannot hold the data of your whole batch. Right? Then it has to split. Then it's not efficient. It's not good. Yeah. So you just want to use the batch size, the existing batch size. Yeah. So typically, 1,000 rows, around 1,000, not exact 1,000 rows, near around 1,000 rows, yeah, close to that buffer size. Yeah. If too small, then not good, because you need to pay more on overhead, right? Yeah. So that's the the typical size. Yeah. All right. Actually, the MySQL it supports the batch insertion automatically. Yeah. What's that? Let me explain. So the MySQL on the batch insertion. Let me explain my experience. Okay? Yeah. Think about, you need to export. Yeah, because sometimes you want to export your data from a table, write it into SQL script file, then you transport to different locations, database servers, so other places, then you install on different servers. So when you do that, you need to use the export command in MySQL. Export, yeah, not import. So this time export, okay? Export, then, so the MySQL will, generate the SQL code, for the data insertion, insert statement, yeah, but generate automatically, okay? All right, so then, when MySQL generate the insert statement, it uses this batch way, okay? It uses the batch way. So one insert statement covers the number of rows approximately 1,000, around 1,000, okay? Yeah. So, very close, not exact, around 1,000. Yeah. That's one batch. Yeah. After that batch, then it create another insert statement. So they cover another batch and so on. Yeah. Yeah. Automatic. So you do not need to tell MySQL to do that. It does that automatically. Yeah. Yeah. I remember I have some very large table, 33, for example, 33,000 rows. 33,000 rows. Then after I generate, I can see, the batch separated. Okay. Then you can see one insert covers, certain number, around 1,000. Then another insert statement, another 1,000, and so on. Yeah. So in that way, because after you copy your SQL scripting file to a different server, when you execute, the whole table data executed in batch by batch. Yeah. Question?
How are we doing an insert for a larger batch size? If each insert needs to be unique in a sense.
Unique?
If it's
What?
doing like 1,000 batch size inserts, can you do an insert with the batch size of 1,000? With that many?
Yes. That's the typical. 1,000. Yeah. Based on my experience, I look at it, around 1,000. Around 1,000. So sometimes 900 something, yeah. The MySQL will, it use the number close to that. Yeah. So detail we may not know. So how does it determine that size? Yeah. But it has some simple algorithm to calculate what's the right size for it. Yeah. For us, if we use 1,000, it should be, close. Yeah. So close to, the typical batch size. Yeah.
So is it just inserting generic data?
Like
it's just random data, I guess, that inserts in the size of 1,000? Because you don't have to go in and do the 1,000 inserts yourself. It just does it in a batch.
Right. Yeah.
So is that just generic values like the question marks?
Yes. Right. The question. But here, the question mark, we can read from a file. Yeah. Oh, that's something I'd like you to do in this project. So project, I want to add a feature, batch input. Yeah. Because usually when we enter data, we do one by one. Yeah. My old version, we didn't do batch, but this new version, I want to add one new feature, the batch insertion. Yeah. So you read the data from CSV file. Okay? Yeah. So you use a text editor, or you use some way to prepare CSV row by row. Okay? Yeah. So then so here, when you read the data row by row from that text file, CSV file, so then you prepare this batch insertion. Yeah. In Java, we have question mark, but in PHP, we don't have question mark. Okay? Right. After we get value, the string, we just put there. Yeah. The question mark way more efficient is because we can do pre-compilation. Before you have data, the command can be compiled. Compiled already. After you get the data, it just to complete the remaining work for the question mark. Pre-compilation idea to save you more time. But in PHP, we do not have this question mark version. So we cannot do pre-compilation. So we have to wait the data available, then we do insertion without pre-compilation. You just do, on the fly. Yeah. So that's another difference. Yeah. Java way, PHP way. Yeah. Here, pre-compilation concept. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So here, we will do PHP way. Yeah. Some student, if you like, yeah, I have some student, the same project use Java. So, yes, if you want to choose, yeah, you want to choose, yeah. But by default, I assume the PHP way. Yeah, yeah, because Java you need to spend a lot of time learning Java. Yeah, yes. But some students they like to practice. Yeah. So last a few semesters, I have a few students they want to practice. So they use a lot of Java, techniques to do that. Yeah. Yeah, but that's on your own. So I do not provide instructions for that part. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yes. So here, yeah. This is batch insertion. All right. Yeah. So let me continue. So if I can I talk about the project a little more. All right. C.3, insert tuples from a query result. So this is another version. Yeah. So this is not related to our project. Our project, we don't use this way. Yeah. Yeah. We use the C.2 way. Yeah. This is another way from a query result. We know a query result is in a table. So there is a table. Okay. So you do a query to generate a table. Then, in this way, the SQL has an automatic way to do the insertion from the existing table. In this way, you don't need to prepare a batch. Right? Yeah. So because the table already there. Yeah. So there is a convenient way to insert tables into relation from a query table. You just do it directly. Yeah. So a variation of insert command inserts multiple tuples into a relation in conjunction with creating a relation and loading it with result of query. Yeah. So here, this way, so you just know this way sometimes can help you manipulate, copy data from table to table efficiently. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes people need to use temporary table. Well, yeah. Temporary table. Yeah. So then, after you complete insertion, you delete the temporary table. Yeah. Sometimes people use temporary table. Yeah. All right. Here, let's use our company. Company. Here, you can see a temporary table is created. Yeah. In our company database, we don't have this table. Okay, it's called works on info. We have a works on table, but here it needs to copy data from works on, Yeah. Sometimes you can do some manipulation. You can change your data a little bit. Yeah. But you do it, you use a temporary table to hold the temporary data. Yeah. Here, info. Yeah. So temporary table. Yeah. All right. So then you define, okay? You define your temporary table. Yeah. So then you run the query. Okay. Query. Insert into this table, yeah. So then, so here, when you insert the table, how to get the data from a query? Yeah. So this select statement, that's the query. You generate the data. So then the query result, so this insert statement can apply on the query result automatically. Yeah. So you do not need to retrieve and then, yeah. So this version more convenient. Yeah. 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 Here, because here, how do you organize your query data? You have freedom to do that. Okay? Based on application requirements. So you can, for different requirements, so you can generate different format for your data. Then you write into temporary tables. Yeah. Because when you work on some data processing, you need to use this temporary table. Okay? Yeah. But after you complete it, you may not need to use that anymore, right? You just use temporary. Okay? So you don't need that data for a long time. Okay? Yeah, that happens. Sometimes it happens. Yeah. You just only use it for a short period of time. Okay? Yeah. Then you can do this way. Yeah. So very convenient. Yeah. After you finish this special feature, yeah, you may delete the temporary table. Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't need it for a long time. So you just delete it. You just use those tables for your specific data processing. Yeah. Yeah. Because you use temporary tables to store the structured data. Then you can do queries on it. Okay? So then it's very convenient. Yeah. So that kind of usage. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just let you know. Yeah. So when you have this situation, you can do in this way. Yep. All right. C.4, update statements. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. So we do not have much to talk about. Yeah. 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 But we have some technical issue I may like to talk about related to our second programming project, this update part, yeah, because we will update a few rows. Yeah. The general case, yeah, the standard, yeah, the first form, update table name, set. So you can change the data for multiple fields, multiple columns. So column 1, data value 1, comma, column 2, data value 2, comma, where condition. Then you need to provide some specific condition. Yeah. So usually when we update, we do row by row. Yeah. We do row by row. Yeah. So the condition, usually we may like to use, more convenient to use the primary key to identify the row. To identify the row. Right? Yeah. So that's the typical usage. Yeah. But that way, you need your table. You need to make sure your table has a primary key. Otherwise, yeah, you cannot use primary key. Yeah. So there are sometimes some tables they do not have primary keys. Yeah. Then you need to consider to use different ways to identify the rows. Yeah. So here the question. So here let me give you a technical question here. Yeah. If a table does not have a primary key, okay? Yeah. And here, even no key, even no primary key, even no other key, okay? Other key, because key we know unique values. Unique value, at least we can use unique values to identify the rows, right? Yeah. So here we even assume no other keys. Okay? Yeah. The question, how to identify a row? Yeah. That's technical questions. Yeah. Because in our project 2, we need to answer this question in our project 2. Yeah. In our project 2, we have 5 tables. Yeah. University, we work on a database called a university database. Database. Yeah. I will give you the database script. Inside it, there are 5 tables. Okay? Among the 5 tables, 3 has the primary key. 3 has the primary key, and 2, no primary key. Okay? All right. And we need to update the data for all 5 tables. For those 3 tables with primary key, then it's easy. Yeah. So you just run this command. Yeah. But for those 2 tables without primary key, how do you identify the table, and then you can change the value? Yeah. Yeah. So we need to solve this technical problem in our project number 2. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. The idea is simple. You need to find a way. You need to find a way to identify the row. Can you do it? Yeah. Yeah. Can you use the tuple value to identify the row? Here, without key. Yeah. Can you use the tuple values to identify the tuple value? Yeah. Fortunately, for our university database, we can use tuple values to identify. Yeah. Here, yeah. Here I do not say you can always, in the general situation, you can always, no. In general situation, it may not be true. Yeah. But for our university table, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Actually, we do not need to use the whole tuple value. We only need to use the first 2 columns. The values for the first 2 columns, we can identify the rows. Yeah. But we do not need to define composite keys. Yeah. Here, remember, we can define composite keys, but not necessary. Yeah. We only need to know these tables, they have the property. First, by our observation, those 2 tables, the first 2 columns, data from the first 2 columns are sufficient to identify all the rows. Then we just use that property to do the update. Yeah. All right, so that's our project. Yeah. All right, for this specific feature. Yeah. All right, with and without primary. Yeah. So here I talked about that question. Yeah. With, without. Yeah. With primary key, straightforward. Yeah. Yeah. So every time you need to associate. Yeah. So when you write the code, yeah, because when you display the data, you need to associate the primary key with each row. Yeah. You store your primary key somewhere, in some way. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. As a JavaScript parameter, just in some way. Yeah. Yeah. So then the user can, click the button, so then the primary key is used to access that row. Yeah. All right. Without any primary key, yeah. So some DBMS support a row number, yeah. But the row number, to use the row number, yeah, actually not quite stable. Yeah. But row number in a table, think about, if the table changes, then your row number changes, right? The table changes. Okay, think about that. Okay, do you still use the same row number when you modify the table, right? Yeah. So that could cause some problem, the row number. So it may not be a good option for this situation. Yeah. Although many DBMS support that row number functions. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here. Yeah. So here, in this example, row count number. Yeah. So you can control the rows by some row count number. Yeah. But that one still, it has the same problem here. may not be stable. Yeah. Because think about, if there are many users, they access the same table, those users could change the data in the table. Yeah. Yeah. So then this row number could be different. Yeah. So that's something you need to consider. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But even that row number function, different DBMS, they use different functions. The functions they use quite different. Yeah. So that's another issue. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So here, in our project, we do not plan to use the row number functions. Yeah. So here, just let you know, there is a way to do that, but you need to consider all the possibilities. When you use the row number functions, you need to consider all the possibilities. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. All right. Update statement, special case. Updating a primary key value may propagate to foreign key value. Yeah. So here, think about. Sometimes you may need to update primary key values. When you do that, you're allowed to do that. You change primary key values. But if that primary key value is involved in some foreign key, then you need to change everywhere. Okay? If you change primary key one place, there are several other tables use the same primary key as the foreign key value, then you propagate. You need to change everywhere. Okay? So this value is used, updated. Yeah. All right. Yeah. If such referential triggered action is specified. Yeah. Triggered action, actually, you do not need to specify. Yeah, so here, this triggered action in DBMS, we have some way to set triggered actions. But for foreign key, you do not need to set because it's automatic. Foreign key, when you change the primary key, so all the other foreign keys use the same value automatically. The action is triggered automatically. You do not need to explicitly set the trigger. Set trigger. Yeah. Later, I don't know if I have time to talk about the trigger concept a little bit. That's also another interesting topic, trigger concept. Yeah, because sometimes some actions you want to trigger some alert, a sequence of actions. For example, some user changed the password. Do you want to send alert message to administration people? Yeah, some hackers may try to do some special actions to your database, right? Yeah. So that kind of situation. So you want to, monitor, set trigger to send alert messages. Yeah. Now here, let's delay it. If later I can find some time, I can talk about that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So here, but there is one performance issue. If you do this way, you can notice some significant delay. Yeah. Slow down the performance due to this foreign key, propagation, data propagation. Okay? Yeah. So you can notice some significant delay. Yeah. It's possible. Yeah. So if that happens, so then we know the performance is important. Yeah, so we want to avoid that delay, the lagging problem. We want to avoid that. Yeah. So if your foreign key caused that problem significantly, so you may want to get around it, the foreign key. Yeah. Yeah. So I remember I had that experience before. Yeah. So when I use foreign key, when I do some special operations, then it takes so long to see the result. I don't want to have that long waiting time. Several seconds. Yeah. So then I remove the foreign key, but I need to do when I change something, I need to do some special queries to make sure my data is consistent. I would rather execute my query statements to make sure data consistent, but that's faster than the foreign key way. Foreign key way, you notice significant lagging. Yeah. But that specific queries, it's very fast because we just change a few values. It's so fast. Yeah. So we won't see any lagging. Yeah. But foreign key, you can notice lagging a few seconds. Yeah. Just let you know, so you may not like it. Yeah. All right. A better way, use fixed internal auto increment prior. Yeah. So if you have freedom, so this method, if you are a database designer, you have the privilege to determine your table structure. You can choose this way. Yeah. Auto increment primary key. Then you use this primary key to change your data. It's very convenient. Yeah. It's very convenient. Yeah. All right. But sometimes you may not have that freedom, right? You're not allowed to change your table structure, then you cannot use this way. Yeah. Sometimes you have limitations. Yeah. For example, in our university database, we cannot change our table structure. We have to use existing table structure. So you cannot add an auto increment primary key to your tables without primary key. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's this topic. Yeah. So here. Yeah. 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 Anyway, so here I give an example to use the auto increment primary key. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. But this feature is only available in MySQL. Yeah. So here you see in MySQL. Yeah. In other DBMS, it may not be available. In Oracle, it is not available. Okay. Yeah. Oracle, it is not available. Yeah. But it is very convenient. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so, right. Yeah, all right. So that's the topic I want to cover today. Yeah, but I have 10-something minutes. Let me talk about our second project a little bit. Yeah, actually, here I can show you the description from last semester, but I need to modify. Yeah, I want to add one batch insertion feature. Yeah, so here I show you where do I want to add a batch insertion. Yeah. So let me show you the old version. Yeah. Here, the new version I haven't updated. It's just my idea.
How long do we have for this one?
How?
How long do we have for this one?
I think you have at least 4 weeks. Yeah, still at least 4 weeks. Yeah. So we. Yeah. Yeah. This time it won't be too late. Yeah. I'll probably. Yeah. Let me try to complete it this weekend. Yeah. This weekend, make it available. Although for some students, they may have overlap with old one. Yeah, it's fine. Small overlap. Yeah. But, all right. So here, in this project, we do basic operations on university database. Yeah. So here, the feature. Yeah. So, all right. Enter data. Yeah. So you need to create a simple interface. So interface. I do not require, some fancy interface. Simple is fine. Some students, you like to do, make it look better. So that's your option, your choice. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you enter this insert one by one. Okay. This is the one by one. Okay. So it's not a batch. Yeah. Single row insertion. Yeah. Every time, user type. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And here you can see there are 5 tables. When we click the table name, you switch to that table. Here, these 5. Student table, courses table, section table, grade report table, and prerequisite table. These 5 tables. The last 3, no primary keys. Sorry, last 2, no primary keys. First 3, there are primary keys. Yeah. So when you change, easier. Yeah. All right. Then, switch table, just hyperlink, you switch. Very easy. Yeah. Actually, I can provide you the initial version of the code. Yeah. I have some initial version of the code. Yeah. But you add the feature. Initial version, you just display the data from 5 tables, but no features. Only display. Okay. Display. Then you can change the table name. You can switch to different tables. Yeah. Only that simplest feature. Yeah. Then you need to add new features. Okay. All right. So the new features, here. Yeah. So here we switch to different tables. Editing rows. Yeah. For each row, you associate an edit button. Edit. You click it. So the data of that row is pulled, displayed in the editable fields, so the user can change the values. Okay, yeah. All right, so then click update button, so then you change the value of that row. Okay, yeah. All right. Delete row, delete, you associate a delete button, so then you click delete button, you delete that whole row. Okay, all right. Then generating a report, generating a transcript, the student transcript. So this feature, you put a link, you click the link, then you generate the transcript. Transcript data should follow some format. So here I took a picture from our textbook. This is a picture from our textbook, the screenshot. So here you can see 2 students, Smith, Brown. So for each student, you list, the course information, in this format. So you need to, prepare your transcript HTML file to display data in this way. It's a little challenging. A little challenging. You need to consider the structure. Okay, how to, design your HTML table structure here. Okay, all right. So then show maximum information. Because that one I want to let you practice AJAX feature. Simple. So I will talk about AJAX feature. So that's another interesting technology. So you click the show max button, you display the maximum value in this field, but we use AJAX way to get the data. All right. So here, jQuery. So this is the old version. But for our new version, I plan to add one batch insertion feature. So here, let me describe this main idea, batch insertion. Think about, we want to enter data. Probably here, let me just do one table. We do not do all 5 tables. 5 tables, you just repeat the same work 5 times, right? So you only need to show me on one table. That's good enough. Because you can easily do for other tables. Right? Let's just practice on one table. Let's say student table. Suppose we want to insert a sequence of student with the information in batch Yeah, in one file, okay? One file you store, many, multiple number of students, each row for one student, okay? Yeah, you use CSV file, okay? Comma separated value for each student, okay? All right, so you store it in that text file, okay? Then, you need to write a code to do batch insertion in this way. First, you need to read data row by row, okay? Yeah, read the row by row. And after you read, we assume less than, so here, we assume less than 1,000 rows. So, less than one batch. You only need to do one batch. So you do not need to consider multiple, batches. Yeah, only one batch, enough to cover. Yeah. So usually we do not have that many, 1,000 students. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So if you use PHP, you write one batch statement, insert. You write that statement, insert. Then, comma separated row. Yeah. After you read the values, then you write as string. You write, you form. Yeah, so you make your string, okay? You make the string of your insert statement. Yeah. Use a for loop to write that insert statement, that string value, okay? Comma separated, yeah? It's a long, at the end, one semicolon, okay? Yeah. Inside only comma, separated. Yeah. You write one, then you execute it at once. Yeah. So then you complete, you see the feature inserted. Yeah. But to load the data, I like you give you two options. The first option is file upload. Okay? You create a file upload field, button, you click it, yeah, you load the file from your machine. Yeah. That's one. Then after you get it, so then you use the file uploading support in PHP or in Java, yeah. So you need to find some example to do it. Yeah. It's not hard. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Pretty simple. Yeah. So probably I can find example. I can show you some sample example. I did that before. Yeah. Uploading. But some students, if you feel that option, you need to pay a lot of effort. So you can avoid that. You just read your local file. Okay. Yeah. In your project, that CSV file location, right? The file name. You just, in your PHP code or Java code, you just read that specific file from your hard disk, okay? From your folder, project folder, input, you do the input, the standard input, okay? Read the content from that text file, then you do the batch insertion. Okay, two options. Yeah. Yeah. The first one is better because it's more convenient. For real-world applications, better, right? The users, you ask them upload from your local machine, right? So it's better, yeah. But because this is a classroom project, so it's not a real-world applications. So I give you two options. Yeah. So for those students, if you feel hard, actually it's not too hard. Yeah. You have a option to get around it. Yeah. That's the idea. Okay? Yeah. So I will modify this description, yeah, add that feature, so then you can start working. Okay? You can start working. Yeah. Yeah. Because that batch insertion, yeah, actually I got inspiration from my wife, yeah, because now he's working, when she works in her company, he needs this feature, but but the company does not provide this feature. Yeah. Then she needs to enter one by one. Okay. Yeah. 45 people information 45 times. Yeah. Enter the rows every time 45 times. Yeah. If you have a batch way 45, you put in one file, then you click the button, it's done. Yeah. So much more productive. So think about that. Yeah. So based on her experience, so then I created this feature. Okay? Yeah. All right, so that's it. Yeah.